This just proves that St. Louis Blues are on the verge of something special. In a recent report revealing the top prospects for the St. Louis Blues, it goes in to show how bright the future and now is for the St. Louis Blues for the years to come. We're going to break down multiple prospects, exactly why you should be fired up, and so much more later on this episode. Before we get into that, I was recently on vacation with the Chicago Blackhawks fans. Listen, I understand that. And he said we can't reach our goal of 4,000 subscribers. So Blues fans, if you want to prove them wrong, go down and hit that free subscribe button. We'll keep you up to date on everything to do around the team. But let's just hop straight into this, Darius. We're a report did come out an article, and this will be linked down below. It does highlight the top 10 prospects by the St. Louis Blues. Go check it out. It's an awesome read, and we're not going to be able to even cover half of the stuff in it. But going in at number 10, and we're going to slowly work our way down, we do see the 19-year-old's hulking presence at 6'5", 201 pounds. He's a power forward in every sense of the phrase, and I know he's going to be able to translate that into NHL success. He hasn't managed to blow things up offensively, but he does skate well, hits hard, and can definitely shoot the puck on the power play when called upon. And this goes straight into our first player to look at today, Adam Jecho. Now, I mean, Darius, listen, drafted third round, 95th overall, having a very good season in the WHL for the Oil Knights in Edmonton. What is your initial thoughts on him coming in at number 10?
Yeah, I think that, when you look through the article, and again, it'll be linked down below, there's some obvious prospects there that we've covered on the channel and that everybody talks about. But there's a few, I think, hidden gems in here that not too many people are paying attention to or forget, like Adam, for example, drafted last year. And then again, if you look at his point totals the last two seasons, almost a point a game last season, and then almost a point a game again, but closer this past season. He can put the puck in the back of the net, scored 25 goals last year, and he's a big body. He's over 200 pounds, 6'5", can play center. That's something that every single NHL team wants. And like Stephen Ellis alluded to, and take a shot, alluded again on the channel, but alluded to, obviously, he can skate well. And anytime you have a big body like that can skate well through the middle of the ice, that is a hot commodity. And that is something that St. Louis Blues fans should be excited about. So I think this is a hot prospect coming into next season. It's expected that he's going to be playing with Springfield, so it looks like he's going to be taking the jump to the AHL level, to pro hockey, which is very exciting. And again, just an exciting prospect, and we'll see what he does at the pro level. Should be exciting.
And I think the big thing is you can teach skill. You can help people with their skating, their shot, and every aspect, but you can't teach someone to be 6'5", an intriguing frame, and someone that should at some point slide very good into the middle six or bottom six for the St. Louis Blues in the future. But it doesn't stop here. This article is riddled with players, and we're going to continue on where we do get another breakdown. He doesn't lose many one-on-one interactions on the rush and competes as hard as anyone. He can cause some havoc around the net too. If you can add a bit of action to his shot, I think he could be a solid bottom six scoring forward, and that goes straight into, and you can take it away because I'm still in vacation mode and I can't pronounce right now.
Juraj Pekarčík, I believe, or Pekarčík, from the Moncton Wildcats. And I believe that he's going to be, this is another one that's going to be making the jump to pro hockey this year. And it's expected that, again, at least from Hockey DB and all these pages, expected that he could be making the jump to pro hockey this season. But a very impressive year in the QMJHL last season, 67 points in 53 games. And again, a big body. He's almost 200 pounds, or probably is 200 pounds. I think this is a little bit older. And he's 6'2", right? So coming in off the wing, another big body who can put points up. Very exciting stuff. Had great playoff numbers as well, by the way, over a point a game in the playoffs, which is absolutely absurd because let's face it, the game, it does change. And especially in these junior leagues, like the OHL, the WHL, the QMJHL, the game, it tightens up in the playoffs. So if you're still a point a game player, that is really good. That is a really good sign to me because in the regular season, that's fine. We've seen guys put up like 120 points in 60 games and stuff like that before. But obviously in the playoffs, if you're still over a point per game player, that is good. Now, the next step is, and this goes from any prospect in the system as well, is going to the pro level. And sometimes it doesn't always translate their game. So I'm excited to see if this does translate to the pro level. I think that it will because of his size as well and some of the things he does on the ice. I think that it will translate to the pro level. There is still another gap between the AHL and, of course, the NHL. But if his goal scoring and point production does translate to a degree to the AHL level, the Blues have a lot of really good prospects on their hand, because they have a lot of guys that are already teetering making the NHL. And you have guys like this that are going to be taking those guys' spots, like Dvorsky, for example, in the AHL. So things are looking very bright. And again, I am curious to see if that does follow him to the pro level. But by every metric so far, I think that it probably will.
And I mean, you said it perfectly. And even speaking on Dvorsky, they were teammates with Slovakia in the under 20 as well, having a great tournament, putting up 7 points in 5 games. In the previous one, 3 points in 5. But his development continued going. Yes, he might need to work on a shot, but he is very good one-on-one. He can go in, cause havoc. He seems like a player that has the tools to accelerate into the AHL and get in his groove into the NHL. But this is only the scratch in the surface of the top 2. And we will cover one more where we do see a defender who is hard to beat due to his mobility and his big frame. He's got all the tools to become a physical, strong offensive defenseman with hockey IQ. And it goes straight into our second or third player, I should say, in Colin Ralph. Now looking at it, coming out of St. Cloud State, not the most productive, but still playing in college hockey, the numbers are going to be skewed a lot differently than in the juniors, putting up 8 points in 35 games, drafted 48th in 2024. Yet again, another big body at 6'3". What is your thoughts on the Blues mold and how it seems like they're really leaning into getting these strong players that can play offensively, but also are hard to knock off the puck?
This is another one that's, a big body, and that's a common theme, I think, with some of the prospects coming out through the system, except for certain guys like Snuggerud, for example, but he plays a lot bigger than what he is, right? So obviously a second round pick from last season as well, a little bit younger, will still take some time to develop, I think. But again, like you said, hard to his gap control is great. He's hard to knock off the puck, for example. He's going to be a great offensive defenseman. I would like to see him, take more strides in that area as well, put up more points. But again, it's harder to score in certain leagues. I find that it's very easy, not easy to score, but it's easier to score in the CHL, for example, versus college hockey or some other leagues. So if he does take a step in that way where he's putting up even more points, or he's just creating more, then obviously it will translate, or should translate, to the pro level. So I think this is another exciting one. Anytime from a young defenseman that you hear that his gap control is already really good, that's a great sign to me. So, he's going to be able to defend. He could possibly turn into a really good two-way guy. And if he's able to put up points and that translates to the pro level, again, you have another great player on your hands. And I think something to look forward to is, obviously they went out and traded for Logan Mailloux because you needed to get younger on the blue line, and you needed maybe a little bit more offense and a guy that you can kind of create and put into this quarterback spot on the power play. And I feel like Mailloux is probably going to be that guy. But who's next after that, right? Mailloux is a little bit older now at this point. And then you have a guy like Ralph, 19 years old. Maybe he kind of grows into that spot. I'm not trying to put the pressure on him already, but maybe he kind of grows into that he's the next guy to take over that spot by the time he's 22, 23 years old, right? Which is still a little ways away. So I think he's going to take some more time to develop, but I think this is another exciting one for the Blues.
But I mean, Blues fans, what is your thoughts? We're going to continue covering. Do you want us to cover the players going from 7 all the way to 1? I'm sure you can guess a lot of the top guys, but there are some sleepers in there. Once again, go check the article out. It's an awesome read and a lot more than we even covered in that. But while you're down there in the description, leave a comment, subscribe, leave a like, and we'll be back with another episode. Listen, I'm still trying to get over my vacation from the past week. But Blues fans, we love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. I've been your host, Mark, with my co-host, Darius, and take care.